at how you tackle questions in this form. The square of a function to be greater than 0. Also the square of another function to be less than 0. Now for the first one, from our previous videos, we've established the fact that when a number is greater than 0, it simply means that the number is positive. So what this is asking us is that if the square of a number is greater than 0, what must happen to that number? So we are talking about x minus a. So we are dealing with x minus a. If the square of x minus a should be greater than 0, what are the properties of x minus a? You agree with me that when a positive number is squared, it will give you a positive number. That means a number greater than 0. Similarly, when the negative number is squared, it will give you a positive value also, which is also greater than 0. So whether x minus a is positive or x minus a is negative, when you square it, the value should be greater than 0. Now what does it mean for x minus a to be positive? So the solution to this is that x minus a is positive or x minus a is negative. Now for x minus a to be positive, it simply means that x minus a must be greater than 0. So x must be greater than a. Also, for x minus a to be negative, it means that x minus a must be less than 0. So therefore, x is less than a. So whenever you have a question in this form, x minus a all squared to be greater than 0, the solution is that x is greater than a, comma, x is less than a, which makes sense. Let's look at this example. Let's say you are given x minus 3 all squared to be greater than 0. We just agree that x must be greater than 3 or x must be less than 3. Now let's check. If x is greater than 3, you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you put them here, when you square it, it will be greater than 0. Also, when x is less than 3, you have 2, 1, 0, your minus 1 as the case may be. If you put them here, you will get a negative value. And also when you square it, your answer should be greater than 0. So that's the answer to this question. But if you have something like this, x plus 4 all squared is greater than 0. Remember, this guy will give you x is greater than minus 4 and x is less than minus 4. Because you must equate this to 0. So if you equate this to 0, x has to be equal to minus 4. So if x is minus 4, we are dealing with x greater than minus 4 or x less than minus 4. We are not dealing with x is greater than 4 or x is less than 4. So that's the solution to that. Now the other one here, you have x minus a all squared must be less than 0. Now you ask yourself a question, can the square of a number be less than 0? No. No real number can be squared to give a value less than 0. However, there are complex numbers in which when you square, it will give you a number less than 0. But we are dealing with real numbers here. So whenever I see a question in this form, the answer is no solution. So that's the answer to this question. The square of a number, the square of a real number cannot be less than 0. So if for example, for example, you are solving a question and you get to a point where you have x minus 5 all squared is less than 0, this is no solution. So that's as much as we'll take under this. In our next video, we'll be moving on to absolute values.